Welcome to Abernathy's Afterhours. It's a podcast
about Aberathys and us.
Yeah, one of those people is me, Becca, Nikki.
And I'm Red, Perez. And we're going to talk about shit.
Yeah, there we go. Boom, right at the top, new shit.
New shit.
What's new?
Socks.
Okay, yes, we got socks. Because everybody loved the socks that said, I'd fuck me.
Yes.
Which, good job everybody that bought those.
Yeah. Some lady was like, that was an impulse buy. You guys are smart. And I was like, we're in business. So we finally
figured it out, and we know what people want to buy, and it's socks that say, I'd fuck me.
And we put it by the cash register, so you have to look at it. We did it!
Also, this week, I feel like has been a week that has been busy with consigners. Not always do we have, like, that's, with merchandise we order in, obviously we have a pretty good idea of, like, we can control the flow.
Sure.
But with artistry, you can't.
No, because it's on someone else's flow.
Yeah. So, and I always tell people, when I tell people about consignment artists, I'm like, it's like Christmas, because we never know what somebody's going to bring in.
Yeah.
So we had a new art. Well, I think since we talked last, we technically have two new artists. One of them being Old World Beard and Skincare.
Yep.
Chris Franklin and his crew that make Beard Balm, Beard. What else?
Is it beard soap?
No, that's Russ.
Well, he makes those lotion bars.
Yes, he makes a roll-on lotion bar that's in a deodorant stick, which I desperately need right now.
He just dropped off a ton of stuff, and a lot of that, I think we had sold out of the sandalwood.
Oh, cool.
So I think that was the most popular scent. It smells really good. Everything smells really great.
A beard balm and mustache wax.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we also have a new artist, Glenn Lowry. Mm-hmm. He's a digital artist who also hand screen prints all of his art and hand frames everything. He works at Crafted QC down the street from us. And he also sells his prints there. And Matt had actually bought one of his prints for Joey, our son, to hang in his room. Oh. So like his art that he has at Crafted is really whimsical and super cool. Like the print that Joe has is like a dinosaur on a surfboard.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, super cute stuff. And then what he has brought to our store is like it's like entirely different.
Yeah, like skulls, and I really like the female one that is really has multicolored and mainly purple, I think.
Yeah.
I was looking at it the other day. I had to move it like 5 times, so I couldn't help myself.
Decorated the store for Christmas. It looks great.
Yeah, there's tape everywhere. There's so much tape.
Packing tape on everything.
I was like, Miranda, get the heavy duty. And she's like, heavy duty what? I'm like, heavy duty tape. And then it all fell down. And I was like, get the Scotch tape out. And that actually worked. So.
We're just going to need to hot glue everything in place.
Yeah, right. So.
What else is new?
Well, Tiffany from Revived Light brought in new candles. We have, I don't know if we talked about it, but Emily from Stitches Be Crazy brought in new stuff.
Oh, so I didn't see those.
Tons of, it was like last week, but I don't think we talked about it at all. So.
Miranda has brought in new stuff since then as well.
Yep, I almost had somebody try to buy the nativity scene.
I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen.
Yeah, I asked her, I was like, how much would you be willing to sell it for? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, $300.
Just put a crazy price.
Yeah, I was like, enough to be where people don't want to buy it.
Yeah, so. But like if they did, you would be happy.
Yeah, it'd be fine to let it go. Someone wanted to buy your Iron Maiden poster.
I said $500.
I said $500, and they were like, and I was like,
you okay, man?
Yeah.
That's
I've actually had 2 people. One person was like, that's accurate.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, you get it.
Yeah. You're cool. You understand.
Guy.
Everything's got a price, realistically.
Yeah. Biggest thing, new shit. I found Christmas sweaters at the bottom of our ornaments.
Oh!
We put them up.
Okay, there you go.
So, there you go. Please buy them.
I need to bring home a Christmas sweater for our 12 days of seltzer review. I want to wear a Christmas vest with a turtleneck, I've decided.
I think there's a sweater at the store that just looks like that.
It looks like...
It's not actually that.
It's like 2 pieces sewn together, basically.
Yeah, and then a Christmas tree skirt.
Mm-hmm. We went to the antique mall and we did find it's not a Christmas tree skirt, but it is a tablecloth that I think would be good for turning into a skirt. We bought a taxidermy deer that I think I want to try to turn into Rudolph.
Do
I think
it.
it'd be super cute. And another Ouija board. This one seems less haunted than our last one.
It was weird, huh?
Yeah.
I have a cat now. He's on Becca's lap.
And he's so cute.
It's really small and naughty. He jumped into my goddamn fridge.
Into the fridge?
Into it. I blame Joe. He had just a plate of bacon in there.
The cat's
Out
like,
in the
I wanna eat
open.
some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very lean.
Yeah.
Looks like he gets lots of exercise for being so naughty.
Yeah, he literally, I was sitting in like a chair, an ottoman, and he ran up the one side of me and ran down the other. And then Joe watched him run full force into a glass door. He's gonna fuck with all these cords.
Took it out of him for
I have
the
a
day.
spray bottle on the kitchen table. He'll ruin everything. Oh, now he's just following you.
I can't think of anything else that we have. Oh, there's new stuff to come, which would be like bralettes,
Candles.
candles. Oh yes, very excited about the candles we got. And
I accidentally ordered one sent way too many times. So you get to take one home.
oh, I like
I told
that
Miranda
concept.
that I was like, Merry Christmas. I accidentally ordered 10 of these, not 5 of them.
I always
really need
manage
to
do
double
that.
check myself.
Yeah, I do that all the time. We got new hosiery in, or we got restocked on some lingerie kind of pieces, as well as got a new style in.
Yeah, you can actually walk by the shop and see most of those new pieces in the window now.
We pulled up to the store today and I was like, ooh, look at our slutty shop.
Ooh, what is in here? I like it. Yeah. Actually, when I was doing the window, people were coming up to the window and then coming in and be like, what is this? Where can I get it?
Right
Over
here.
And just to let you know, that red piece, the 2-piece, the bralette and the panties, those are fucking stretchy.
Well, you have it displayed in like a plus size mannequin, so I was pleasantly surprised by that.
It's technically a one size fits most piece, but it is on our plus size mannequin, and honestly, it could go for more. It stretches pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was excited about that. The only thing I would be concerned about is like,
can you fit your head through the neck hole?
Yeah. But it does have clasps.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you can fit it through, you just not, I don't know, depend on how your neck is, I guess.
I got a thick neck.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that concludes new shit.
Yes. That's all the new shit. So now we're going to talk about old shit.
Old shit. We're gonna go way back.
Now into the meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes.
This segment's called Meat and or Potatoes. Pew, pew, pew.
Meat and
Can we have a
potatoes.
soundboard, please, soon?
Get on it, Matt. Petting a cat. You're not doing your job.
The meat and potatoes of the podcast.
So on our Miranda-sode, we had like briefly talked about vending. And I don't know if we've ever kind of gone into vending and what it actually takes or why we keep doing it.
Yeah. Also, it was definitely a big stepping stone into like how we were able to start our business, I feel like.
Yeah, well, and sustain our business for quite some time when we were at our old location.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What was the first thing we ever vended?
Together, we vended in LeClaire.
Yeah.
At it.
Before that, the first thing we ever vended was the first Muddy Waters Tattoo Convention.
I remember that. I have pictures and a tattoo.
We both got tattooed that weekend.
What'd you get?
I got this orange flower that I have on my chest.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Basically the goal of that weekend was we were both just making handmade stuff, and it was like sell as much as you can so you can afford to get a tattoo.
Yep.
Because we were just in a convention center just watching people get tattooed all weekend.
That sucks. When you like tattoos and you want tattoos and you don't have any money, it's the worst place to be.
Just sitting around waiting. So yeah, that was the first thing we vended. We didn't do too bad. That was like our first time setting up in an event.
Yeah. And we stuck it out. We did it. And then
Yeah.
we did get tattoos, so good for us.
Yeah, we made literally only enough for both of us to get tattooed. That was probably the only money that we made.
The only thing that I remember besides the tattoo that's forever is the picture of you. It's like a magazine. We're bored. Obviously not doing a very good job. So. But a picture, magazine cutout, and you had cut out the mouth, and you like shoved your tongue through it and your eyes. And I took a picture of it, and that's all I remember.
It was a pretty slow weekend. That was a good time. And then from there, yeah, we vended a French Market Days in Leclerc. But that was a big motivating event because I remember that was like after we had come up with a concept for Abernathy. It's like a name and kind of had started writing a business plan. It was like we needed a banner that said Abernathy's and you made us one.
Shittily hand painted a banner.
On top of that, we lost that in the flood, yes.
Dang.
But you had painted it on. There used to be this amazing place in Leclerc where you could buy like craft supplies by the pound. And she had these old vinyl banners, and I think they were like marketing banners from like an Old Navy or something.
Oh, yeah, because it did have those. It had Old Navy graphics on it.
Yeah, like a weird pop art kind of pattern, and then you had painted over it and it said Abernathy's.
Yeah, and I fucked up, so it was like
one really thick letter in there.
One real thick letter, and then it had kind of said Abernathy's underneath it lightly. I just painted over that. Yeah, but I don't remember how we did.
I don't remember either, but that was also one of the first times we used to have this tent that was like bright pink, and it had these Velcro. It was a 10 by 10. Actually, it was an 8 by 8 tent, and had these Velcro walls that had like little windows that looked in. And I remember the first time I took it out of the box to use it. Somebody was like, "Looks like Barbie's dream house."
Like,
I kind of always like thought of it as Barbie's dream house. This bright pink tent.
an 8 by 8 tent. That is a dressing room to us now.
Yeah.
That is unreal. To think that we could fit Abernathy's in anything less than a stadium at this point is beyond me. We have so much shit.
So it was always like, and before we had the actual shop, we were like using whatever supplies we had as far as racks and tents and vehicles. So it was always like a hodgepodge of like, shove whatever you can in whoever's vehicle's running and like can make it this far that day.
Took my mom's Mountaineer, and then all your shit exploded out the back.
We were vending in Conesville, which is I think in north of Muscatine. They have a drag strip out there, and like had a little car show. And we probably didn't sell very much that weekend, so you come home and you're a little bit maybe butthurt. And on the ride home, we must have just gone over a big bump, and like the back hatch wasn't closed all the way, and this hatch opened up, and all of our shit flew out. It wasn't until the person driving behind us like maybe pulled up next to us at a stop sign.
How we didn't hear it?
We were probably talking just like this.
Oh.
Didn't hear
Talking at each other. Yeah, and Becca was like, it's like, it's my favorite sewing case and all my favorite things. And I was like, it's all fucking gone. It literally exploded.
At one point you were like, do you want to turn around and go back? And I was like, no. It's gone.
We're just gonna keep going.
It was a vintage sewing box, and I had this, it was a bumper sticker that was meant for a motorcycle, and it said, if you care about your life as much as I care about this motorcycle, don't fuck with it. And I had taken like a label writer, and over where it said motorcycle put box.
Yeah, so blew it out of the trunk.
It's in a ditch in Muscatine somewhere.
Sorry.
Enjoy, whoever finds it.
Yeah.
Those were the early days.
The early days. I feel like Torquefest was probably one of our larger and more repetitive shows that we've done.
For sure.
But other than that, I mean, most John Wells shows.
Yes.
We always vend those.
Thank you to John for putting on amazing events that like always have lit a fire under us to like, I don't know, something to look forward to.
Yes.
Something to prepare for. Those shows have always been amazing to us and like connected us to people who love the store.
Yeah.
So
lots of friendships made.
For sure.
Yeah. But I don't know, vending otherwise, we talked about like what's your favorite? And I was like, I really loved Riot Fest only because you got to watch bands.
Heck yeah.
Watch.
The best bands.
Hot chicks on motorcycles up in the air.
Our tent, I think it was was it the first year or the second year, was set up next to these. It was like a thrill show of some kind, but basically they have a tight wire that's suspended maybe 20 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And they have a motorcycle that's connected to the tight wire that like runs the tight wire, but the motorcycle can also like flip upside down and right side up on the tight wire.
Yeah, it was super cool. The only thing is that they played the same song every fucking show.
Every performance, we were just listening to Rob Zombie on repeat.
And I think it was Pussy Licker or something like that. And I was like, I am done with this. I can't anymore.
We've seen Nine Inch Nails. We got to see Run the Jewels the last time we vended.
B-52s, Blondie, Danzig.
Yeah. All the good stuff.
Yeah, tons of people.
Jerry Lee Lewis I got to see last time we vended Riot Fest. I was really excited to sneak away and see that. And see
Who
him.
did we see at Viva?
We also saw Jerry.
Okay.
Well, Jerry Lee Lewis played, but I don't think we got an opportunity to go watch him as much as
I
we
snuck
did.
a peek.
Yeah.
Saw him in a red jacket. That was about it. We were far away though.
I think he did one of those like Willy Wonka things where he like had somebody help. He was like on a cane and like helped out to the stage, and then he did a fucking somersault.
We did not. I think he legitimately needed his cane.
I'm gonna need some help. We got to see the Stray Cats while we vended.
That was cool. I never in a million years thought I would see the Stray Cats. I don't know, it's just a band you listen to when you're younger and they're kind of this dream.
Yeah.
But we got to see them. That was awesome. I think that's the best thing about vending is going to music festivals and being able to see these awesome bands. Because we would genuinely want to see them anyways.
Normally we'd pay to be there. And we pay to be there, but
it's kind of like, let's not.
Yeah.
We're working, so we don't feel as guilty.
Yes, yeah. But definitely when you're a part of these larger scale events, Riot Fest specifically, it's kind of like a city pops up in the middle of an empty, vacant park. So, and it's like, it's got its own infrastructure, it's got its own like back end. So you really feel like you're a part of this like you're like a cog in this big machine that's making all of it possible.
I would say, I guess when I was younger and before doing retail and stuff, I never realized how important vendors are. It gives people that break to go and like do something besides sit and watch a band for 10 hours straight.
Yeah.
You know?
And you're building it's like an experience for people.
Yeah. And when you have really cool shit, really unique stuff, I mean, people are excited to see things and want to shop. And so
my favorite event that we have vended has probably been like any Viva we have ever vended.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's so much of like getting there, like the journey, like we've driven through the mountains to get there, we've driven through the desert to get there. Mm-hmm. It's just like, it's such a long haul that I feel like by the time you get there, it's like, I don't know, overwhelming to be around so many cool people that like the same kind of cool stuff you do, and the music and like just all of it. Las Vegas itself.
Yeah, being there and experiencing Las Vegas is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And like, we never do anything at night. We're at Viva.
We're all very tired.
And then we're very, very tired. I think Matt drove up and down Las Vegas 400 times that one year when we didn't stay it was the second year.
Oh yeah,
second year.
There was the first year that we vended Viva, we got out there and we started unpacking, and so the way that Viva is set up, it's a rockabilly weekender, so it's all like rockabilly music, vintage lifestyle as far as like clothing and cars. And they have, in the hotel that we vend at, they have a bowling alley in the hotel. So they have a bowling tournament, and we set up and vend inside of the bowling alley. And then after that, we vend there for like 8 hours, and then we break down and move all of our stuff outside to a parking lot where we vend a car show. But we had started after driving for 2 days straight, started unpacking to realize we had not brought any business cards with us.
That is not typical. We're constantly forgetting to do something like that.
I mean, anybody packing to go anywhere, somebody's gonna forget something.
Yeah.
it just happened to be like the one way we represent our business.
It's no big deal.
So Matt, like, of course, I like call the nearest Staples, and I'm designing a business card on my phone. None of the images, your husband, like, lovingly has provided us with all of our artwork for the store since the beginning. Like, none of the resolutions I have are high enough because they're all saved on my phone.
Shitty, grainy.
Oh, and then Matt has to drive from one end of the city to the other to go to, like, the only Staples. They're the closest Staples, which still ended up being like an hour away, or so. It felt like.
And it was like going out of a downtown, and it was just like, oh, it's a normal city.
Weird. That's weird to think that Vegas has something like that.
A Staples.
Yeah.
And you know what? But now we were able to, like, kind of problem solve that issue. And since then, I have actually done that before.
Just waited till we get there.
Well, yeah, or like gotten there and been like, oh shit, we don't have any business cards. I'd be like, I know what to do.
We got it.
I call Staples.
I'll call it. Yeah.
But that's always like one of my favorite events. I love. Last time we went, we got to see Tonio. Who is like a Viva expert. He's gone tons of times and knows all the good shows to check out. Made sure to invite us to, like, the Guitar Geeks show. Was super cool.
Sorry we fell asleep.
We did fall asleep in the front row because we had a long day.
It's been a long, like, 4 days of working, and then
It was so cool, though.
it was very cool. I'm glad I got the experience for what I saw.
Mm-hmm. What other? What would it is? I guess it probably is not fair to say a worst event.
No. That's okay.
What would it be?
That fucking hobnobbers.
That
Or the Iowa City Farmers Market. That fucking
both
sucked.
were bad.
We actually made negative money there.
So when we started coming up with the concept for Abernathy's, was just all really birthed out of the fact that there was an empty retail space in LeClaire. Like, that was like the thing that, like, was going to make this all possible. Mm-hmm. So until that space became available, we were going to vend events. And I think I just started, like, anything I saw online that, like, had a vendor application that I could fill out.
Fuck it, we'll do it.
We're gonna do it. And one of them was it was like the Pinterest version of a vintage and craft show, and it was in Indiana, on the Indiana, like, Illinois border, so, like, probably just over 4 hours away. But we had to rent a trailer because I had this great idea that we're going to bring furniture with us. Maybe the store was actually open at that point, because we had Wendy from Eclectics Furniture, hand-painted furniture.
Oh.
And your husband agreed to come with us.
He's never been on another trip since. It rained.
It rained.
Entire goddamn time. We did not fit in.
No.
To any. The only thing that fit in was the painted furniture.
Yeah.
And
we literally brought the weird sign with us.
Yeah.
Which people liked that, but, like,
Yeah.
it was a very perfect synopsis of how we really did not fit in at this event.
Yeah. And then we almost ran out of gas. In fact, I got really scared.
We ran out of gas trying to get to a Red Lobster. And it felt like we were so far away from civilization that there was cow pastures, and I was like, we will never make it to where there is gas. I felt myself, like, almost starting I'm not religious at all. I was like, dear God, please let us not run out of gas in the middle of the night while it's raining and we're towing a rented trailer in the middle of Indiana.
We're fine eventually.
But yeah, and then it was like we turned around a corner and we went from cow fields into
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster. Boom, we're there.
And I remember us being like, we're just gonna eat. And I don't think we even really talked.
No.
And then we just...
You know when you have such a bad night, you're like, I don't want to talk about
I'm just
it.
gonna eat this and I'm not gonna say shit.
Yeah. We went to the Super 8 and we just slept.
Yep.
Nicole had to wear a bag on her head when we loaded out because it was raining so hard and she didn't wear her hair color to run.
That happens. Freshly dyed job there. That's a tip. Tip trick. Put a plastic bag on your head, tie it under your chin, you got a bonnet.
Boom.
Bam.
The other worst one being the Iowa City Farmers Market. No offense to the Iowa City Farmers Market.
No, it was beautiful, and I wish I shopped it.
Yes.
I don't ever want to vend it again. Just because we literally made negative money.
It didn't help that that was legit before the store opened, so we had not very much merchandise. We showed up and one of the big things that we thought we were gonna sell were earrings made out of Simpsons pogs.
What the fuck? I do not understand why that did not take off.
It's so funny because I really do think now if we were to, we won't ever revisit it because we had them for so long that it was like that piece of merchandise that sat in the store and stared at you and was like, you made me and I didn't sell, so
I
fuck
hope
you.
that all of them went away in the flood.
They probably did.
Yeah, bye.
But we had only sold 1 or 2 items. We had not paid in advance to be there. I think the way that was set up was at the end of the show, they come around and collect.
Which is kind of nice because then, I mean, if you're broke like we were, you don't have to pay. What was $14?
But so we had sold 1 or 2 items, and then they came around to give us all the money that you made, please.
And we're like, cool, bye. The only good thing that came out of that show was the guy that was set up next to us selling furniture he was crazy.
The craziest, most awesome person ever.
He had a stick, and he'd slap his furniture and say, "Hey, motherfucker!" and would force people into his booth. I mean, I think he was forcefully making people buy his shit.
That dude's booth he didn't have to load anything home.
No, that's what we gotta change it up.
More carny.
If we call you motherfucker when you walk into the store, it's only because we need you to buy something.
It was one of those old, a Bali, is that what it's called? The person that stands outside of the carnival tent to draw people in?
Yeah, I think so.
And that's what he was doing. And it was working like crazy.
He was the man version of Suzanne.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. I think we talked about this before. And we're
they're a match made in heaven.
Where are you, stick guy?
I did see him at the farmer's market in Davenport one time, and I was traveling. I remember you. I don't know if you remember me, but we had set up next to you, and he ended up selling me that rug that had the Karma Sutra on it that we had in the store forever.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That adds up. That's funny.
It was like a giant Indian rug. I think that Jenna Sue has that Karma Sutra rug.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that survived the flood.
Oh my God. Oh. But those were the only 2 bad ones, right?
Yeah. I mean...
Muddy Fest?
There we go. Okay. Insert in between both. No. Underneath. Next to Hoblo. There was torrential downpour. We did not sell anything. No, we sold a few things to a few people.
Yeah.
Like a band.
But by that point we went from spending $14 to set up a show to you're investing a couple $100 to come and set up at a show.
So we're expecting a lot more, and we're way more knowledgeable about what to sell at certain places now.
We've done a really good job of curating our booth to it was a motorcycle rally music festival, so we had brought all these cool vintage leather boots and leather bags and cool motorcycle jackets. I felt like we had a better grasp on what to do.
Yeah.
But there was no one there.
No one there, and then all of a sudden sirens.
Yeah, luckily.
And your brother.
Yeah, luckily, Molly Wood. Shout out to Molly Wood.
Thank you, yeah.
She's awesome.
Because she knew, or was at one point with one of the sound guys, right?
Yeah.
And they had got word that shit was about to go down.
They were going to have to tear... It was a massive stage, a full, rig with, light system. Yeah. And they were going to have to tear this down because they knew a tornado was coming.
Yeah. And it was nuts.
Yeah, I had also luckily I legit had invited my brother just to hang out for fun for once, but I was every time he's around, it's shit, emergency!
Carry this really heavy thing.
Which is
you're stronger than us.
But we ended up having to we tore down that booth probably in less than 20 minutes.
That is record breaking. I would say that we are getting very good at putting up the booth, and I would say we could do it in probably under an hour now.
Yeah, we did have awesome shop in Kansas City called Noir. Oh, Pam from Noir, we met her at an Oddities convention, that's an amazing series of shows.
Yeah, and they're fun, and they bring fun people, and there's so many vendors. It's You make money at those events. That's awesome. But then you want to spend all of it.
Yeah, because there's so much cool stuff.
There's so much cool stuff.
But we were setting up, it was the first Oddities convention that we'd ever done. It was in Kansas City, and Pam had come up to us after we were tearing down, and she was like, the two of you should write a book on how to vend.
Ooh, or we'll just have a podcast.
She knew exactly what to say. We were both like, thank you, Pam.
Shouldn't have. Yeah.
But yeah, those series of shows are awesome. If you're into weird stuff, definitely check them out on Facebook. The Oddities and Curiosities Expo. There's definitely a date near you for 2021, pending the end of the world or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. We'll get over it eventually, right? But what was I gonna say?
I don't know, but for as far as like potential, well, that was Muddy Fest.
I blacked that out, Matt. Thanks.
Thanks for bringing up that terrible memory. But after that show, we ended up bringing everything into the store, and like we had to open up all the tent inside of the shop so it was just soaked. We couldn't put it away because it was like wet. And then we went home and showered, and I was like, I'm going back because Sublime with Rome was playing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm fucking done. Bye.
I was like, God damn it! If I'm gonna take anything out of this weekend, I'm gonna see Sublime with Rome.
I wish it would have, though.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was muddy, though.
Yeah.
Sure was.
Well, the title says it all.
Yeah.
You should have known. Should have wore your boots.
Yeah.
But
There were times we had vended a cool, like, it was mostly EDM based music festival in Des Moines called 8035.
I was like, what one? Yeah.
It was mostly EDM. Yeah. But they had Run the Jewels had headline once, Kesha headline once. Fantagram.
That was cooler.
Which all those bands kind of have an electronic feel to them, I think.
Yeah, they're like this alternative electronic stuff. And
there was one year
Weezer was there.
Oh, yeah.
They are not, but enjoyed it.
We had been vending we did vend that early on in our career as far as the shop goes. But the second or third time, maybe it was the second time we went, we'd had some instances where it rained, and it was makes your weekend fucking miserable. Yeah. So I remember going out and I bought these rain boots. They were like black and had pink edges. They were so cute. Yeah. So it's like if you were going to be stuck in a rainy mess, I was going to be prepared and I was going to look cute. And I wore these rain boots. It was forecasted to rain, and it didn't rain. But it was
instead it was
90 degrees. Hot. So I just spent all weekend in latex boots. It's so gross.
That show is so confusing to us. It was like one year we did well enough to apply for the next year, and then they were like, no. And we're like, what?
Yeah,
we weren't local enough or whatever they were trying to do.
I forgot about that.
Well, yeah, fuck them. And then we were like, okay, fine, we'll come back, because they actually reached out and were like, do you want to come back? And we said yes. And then somebody stole a bunch of shit.
Our booth got robbed in the middle of the night.
Robbed in the middle of the night. So, nope. Not going to do that again.
I totally forgot that they didn't allow us in that one year.
Yeah, they said, no.
That was...
Not you.
I remember, as far as starting off and stuff, there are some shows that were hard to get into. Yeah. You had to meet a certain criteria.
Mm-hmm. Or you had to sell certain things, or you couldn't sell certain things. And then that's still very relevant.
Yeah.
One of Becca's biggest dreams was to vend Viva.
Yeah.
And she did it. You did it.
We did it!
We did it a couple times.
Mission accomplished.
Boom.
There was another event based out of Chicago called Renegade Craft Fair. We never vended it, but it was one of those shows that was kind of hard to get into. But that just makes you want to do it more.
Yeah, what do I have to make to...
Yeah.
Oh, it makes you set your eyes on a different goal.
Yeah, to have a goal.
Yeah.
As far as a show or a certain kind of look. There's some shows you apply for and they want to see a full setup. What does your tent look like? What does your booth look like?
Every time I see that, I'm like, ugh.
I can't be bothered.
Okay, believe us, it's cool.
Yeah. I remember the first few times I would set up a mock-up tent in our backyard and take pictures of it. And be like, this is what it looks like. Nothing matches. It's vintage tablecloths and everything. But for upcoming shows, that Oddities convention, if it all comes to be, we have a pretty awesome lineup of shows scheduled for, if it doesn't happen in 2021, 2022 maybe.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah.
New Orleans.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I've never been there.
It's awesome.
Cannot wait. And then where else?
That's all I can think of right now. Well, we had a couple options, but we've been juggling things back and forth so much because of COVID that we started we'd get a refund for one show that was canceled, but then we'd move it into another city. So one city, Minneapolis was an idea, Indiana, Detroit, Texas was even an option that we tossed around for a minute. That is a pretty crazy drive. And we think the longest that we've ever drove somewhere is Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But it was we're there for an extended period of time.
All these oddity conventions are one day.
They're one day, so you really got to make it count. So we're under 10 hours, right?
Yes.
10 hours and under.
I think we maybe said Minneapolis.
Minneapolis is our...
I'm like, oh, okay, well, this city has a decent tiki bar. We'll go with that one. And this one has a tiki bar. We'll go there.
Yeah.
Minneapolis, Chicago, Kansas City, and then I think New Orleans was going to be our furthest one.
Kansas City was our first... Kids peeing. Look at her.
Wicked pisser.
Kansas City was our first oddity show, and it blew us away, and that's why we keep coming back.
Yeah. We also went to Atlanta.
That was cool.
Yeah, that show was so for us. We did well enough to cover our expenses and everything. Man, it was cool to be in Atlanta.
That was the coolest part. Getting to go to Trader Vic's was really cool because you had never been there, right?
No.
We'd never been there.
Everybody we met in Atlanta, I felt like was so nice. We had a pretty good series of Uber drivers that were pretty talkative. There was a wig shop right across from the street from our hotel.
You bet we went there and spent a good penny.
Yeah, I was in heaven.
They had shoes.
Yeah, at the wig shop.
Yeah, it was cool.
If you could vend anything else, they weren't there's an imaginary scenario where you just get to show up, you could just time warp there. It wouldn't require driving. You wouldn't have to pay to get in. If you could vend anything ever.
Oh, I don't know, I guess. That's hard.
Yeah.
I'm what else is out there?
I don't know. It'd be cool to go to another country and sell.
Okay, yes. If we could do dream scenario.
Yeah.
If you could have a Riot Fest and a Viva mushed together in a different country.
That would be great.
Yeah.
There's a Viva East, so it's Viva Las Vegas, but they do it on the eastern coast, and it's actually not too far from where Joe Zaza is in Marlborough, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Or I think the event is in Marlborough, Massachusetts. They have a few larger scale events in the United Kingdom as far as vintage lifestyle is way more commonplace there. Or I don't know if it's more commonplace or the group of people that enjoy it, they I don't know.
I feel like we've met a ton of people from Canada and Germany.
Yeah, lots of people that travel to the United States for Viva.
Yeah.
The United Kingdom would be cool. I've heard that Lake Havasu, Arizona has an amazing rockabilly event. It's supposed to be a huge party. So that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Hawaii. I want to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So if someone take us there.
Make it possible.
Please.
Tiki Oasis is a great, it's a vintage event that's based all around tiki inspired art and music. There's also a surf festival in New Jersey that looks really fun. So.
It's not what I think of when I think of New Jersey.
Surf? You're wait a minute,
what
there's a
fuck?
beach there?
I don't know why. No. No. You know what would have been really cool, and I don't even know if they do that anymore, is the Motorhead cruise. If somehow there was vending on there.
I bet there is. There's gotta be.
Do they do them anymore now that he's gone?
Oh, I don't know. It'd be cool if they did a Lemmy memorial cruise.
Maybe that's what it'd be turned into.
Yeah, that would be super cool. What else? every time we've gone to Nashville, that's been super fun.
Yeah.
I always forget how close Nashville is, really.
I mean, it's a day. It's a day to drive, and then you get to spend a half your day hanging out. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, 10 hours?
Nothing.
Fine, we can do it.
Yeah. I was like, every time we've gone to Vend in Nashville, so I wouldn't mind going back there.
Yeah. Good peeps in Nashville.
Heck yeah. Last time we went to Nashville, we just hung out with people from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's great. We love every event we've ever vended in Wisconsin. Has always been great.
Yeah,
everybody there.
Nice.
It's like it's.
They have my favorite accent. They have our favorite food, cheese.
Cheese, everything.
It's pretty close to home.
We do have a bumper sticker on our vending trailer that says "Crave the curd" or something like that.
That was a cheese curd food truck. They were great at Mississippi Mayhem.
Yeah.
Mississippi Mayhem's great.
Yeah.
It's all great. Yeah, we were at a bar in Nashville called Skull's Rainbow Lounge. It's really, really cool. That jazzy one that had the singing, and we ate that enormously expensive meal. And we all of a sudden...
Jeremiah showed up to lift stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And we hear this very distinct Wisconsin accent. And we're like, we have to fucking know them. Don't know why we thought that, but we did.
We did. Yeah.
We did. And then the bartender was like, what are you guys doing? And we were saying where we were going. Was it Nashville Boogie we were at?
Yes.
He's like, oh, what? It's like the goddamn gallows playing? And I was like, what the fuck? Am I wearing a shirt? Does my jacket say it or something? We're like, no. He's like, man, it'd be cool if they did. I'm like, how did you come up with that band? Why? And then he just turned out it was one of his favorite bands. It had nothing to do with anything that we were wearing or correlating the two. It was very,
and it just
very
happens
odd.
to be the band that your husband is in.
Yeah, it's funny. Whatever. I'm like, what the hell? So obscure.
So random. Yeah, I always feel like that's the best part about traveling and going to an event that's like an alternative lifestyle kind of event, because it's like all of these little things that connect us. It's like, I don't know, it makes the world feel so small when it comes to like cool, weird stuff. So, next segment is burning questions that no one asked, except
somebody did ask
it. So last week we opened up our website, as well as we have like a bowl in the store where you could submit questions to ask to myself and to Red to answer on the podcast, because we were tired of answering questions that nobody asked. We wanted to answer questions that you asked.
Yeah, why not?
So let's pull up. We are going to pull up a question that was asked in the store. Let's see. What is the scariest thing you have ever experienced? Red.
Ooh. Thanks, Becca.
Red has the floor.
Hi. What is the scariest thing I've ever experienced? Becca one time took a turn at, I swear to God, a backwards 90-degree angle. No, that's probably not the scariest, but I did scream.
Yeah, I legit have never heard you scream as loud as you did.
Yeah.
I have been known, I break for thrift stores.
Hard.
Or there wasn't actually much braking involved in that turn.
No.
We were in Clinton, and we were on an errand, and I saw a thrift store, and I was like,
I swear to God, we turned backwards into another lane.
Get into the thrift store, go in, doors are unlocked, they're like, we're closed. Employee meeting.
We're like, fucking lock the door then. But the scariest thing I think was honestly driving through the mountains in that blizzard.
Oh, that
to
was
Viva.
rough.
I was shaking and my knuckles were like white. And I remember my hands being like, like when I stretched them out, like, oh my God.
I'm gonna post a video that I have of, I videoed the screen, like the windshield, and you ever see like in Star Wars where it looks like the stars are like when they go into hyperspace.
Yes.
That's what it felt like when we were driving through the Rocky Mountains. We had originally planned to not stop. We were gonna drive all the way through, which,
if the blizzard wouldn't have happened, maybe we would have done it.
But we
really
luckily made it. We just made it far enough to make it to like a ski resort town where we could stay the night.
Yeah.
And
Vail?
Yeah,
It
it
was
might have
good.
been. I'll post a video for that.
It was terrifying, and they were, I mean, so terrifying that we had, our trailer lights weren't fucking working, which is what's new.
They
And
never work. Trailer lights will never work.
No. We just need a new trailer. Who wants to buy one? But the trailer lights weren't working. Semis were zooming past us. We're on this windy ass mountain, and like the little mountain passes, they were closing them as we were going through them. I just was so fucking scared. I was dope. What's the scariest thing you've ever
So
done?
I was gonna say, and actually these are all kind of related to vending, which is kind of funny.
So we shouldn't do this anymore.
Well, you know what? Anytime you're just living a day, your life's at risk.
Becca, I didn't leave my house today. I made shrimp tacos. Hey,
Wearing
no risk.
polar bear sweatpants.
Yep. And like crew neck sweater. It's too
Your
small
life
for
was
me.
in zero danger today.
None danger.
So when we were vending 8035, the EDM event, and it was the same year that our booth got robbed. The night our booth got robbed, we were out. We were like, oh, we're gonna cut loose a little bit. Like, I think I stole a little bit of weed from my husband. I was like, yeah, we're gonna have a good night tonight. Well, my favorite place to go in Des Moines is Fong's Pizza. So that was like the destination. Let's get in an Uber. Let's Uber from our booth and go to Fong's. And it was my first time using Uber, I think, on my phone. And God knows what I put in. Uber driver pulls up, the three of us hop in the Uber, and I'm like trying to play it cool because I'm not too high to like have called an Uber, and I'm like chatting with the Uber driver and not really paying attention. And what was supposed to be a very short ride, kind of, as I realized, was becoming a very long ride. We went over a bridge.
We went a bridge and it was starting to get like very suburban-y, rural-y area.
We were out of downtown.
I mean, to the point where the Uber driver, he was like, you guys are from Davenport? What you doing out here? And we're like,
I was like, well, we're going to Fong's. And he's like, well, that's not where you're going.
and I was like,
And I just
fucking
immediately
murder.
I immediately read that as a threat. Like, you're not going there because you're not going to leave this car because I'm going to fucking
I'm
kill
gonna
you.
chain you to my basement.
Also, on our Viva trip going through the mountains was when we first discovered true crime podcasts. So
Too
like
much
we
true
had
crime that
both delved into true crime hard that year. A lot of true crime podcasts and just a tiny little bit of weed made that night very not fun. And we Nicole and I both interpreted the situation that we were in danger. So
I was in the back seat and I had no idea what she was doing, but she undid her seatbelt and I was like, fucking, if this bitch dips, I swear to God, I will roll out of a moving vehicle.
I have my hand on the panic button in the Uber app, the seatbelt undone, the other hand on the car handle. We are pulled over, and I am getting ready to bail out of this car into somebody's front yard. And the guy could obviously, the Uber driver senses the panic in the car.
He's like,
and
I'm not a bad guy. Like, he's like, I'm a volunteer fireman.
you don't have to worry about anything. He's like, just cancel the trip and start a new one, and we're gonna get you back to where you need to go. It was a really awkward drive back into town.
Yeah, he was like, he didn't charge us for that.
Yeah, it didn't charge us, and then
We melted into two giant puddles when we got out of the car.
when I got out of the car, I almost collapsed because my body was so tense. And Nicole and I were like, we just barely escaped death. And we look over to our friend Erin, and she's like, what's the big deal?
What happened? Like, what the fuck?
The music
Erin,
on her phone the whole
not
time.
in the car? All I know is that Becca's like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm going for his eyes. And I was like, I would have just been kicking repeatedly from the back seat.
In our minds, we already played out how we were going to attack this guy.
Murder our defenseless
Uber driver.
He was actually very nice.
He was very nice, didn't charge us for the ride.
We're idiots.
Yeah, just a little bit paranoid and too much true crime. So that was the scariest thing that ever happened.
Yay. Thanks for your burning question.
Yeah, somebody actually asked that. So that was one that somebody dropped off in store. And if you come into the store and you fill out a question for us to answer on Abernathy's After Hours, you get an Abernathy's After Hours sticker.
Oh, let's do customer of the month week. Customer of the week.
Who do you have for customer of the week?
We have Sarah Akers! And her real cute kids.
Oh, they're the cutest. Because they look just like her.
They look exactly like her. Sarah's always been an awesome, supportive person for Abernathy's and a dear friend of ours, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for making your family a part of our Abernathy's family.
Aww.
Aww.
That's what vending does.
Yeah,
It
we're
makes
totes
family.
homo for you, Sarah.
Yeah.
All right, so
That's it.
that's it. That's a podcast.
That's it. We did it. See you later. I'm gonna go
Podcast.
back to bed.
Completion. Roll from the couch
Into my bed.
straight into bed
Because
in
I
the
didn't
polar bear
change my
sweatpants.
clothes. Fine.
All right, so we will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.